You're watching Retirement Talk with Eric Carney, Southwest Florida's retirement television. He's an author, a radio host, a fiduciary, and Southwest Florida's premier investment advisor. Here is Senior Investment Advisor Eric Carney.
Welcome to Retirement Talk with Eric Carney. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Eric Carney of Retirement Wealth Advisors. And to our viewers at home, today's show is dedicated to our female viewers. Now, if you're a gentleman and you're at the gym, don't go anywhere, don't get off the treadmill, don't leave. This show also impacts you because you obviously know females in your life. Maybe you have a sister, your wife, your mother, an aunt, a niece. So basically the show is dedicated to women, but to the male viewers at home, you'll find it to be informative as well, I promise. Eric, how are you today?
Good morning, Cynthia. Great to see you.
It's so great to see you. And we have been talking about doing a women's show forever. And I'm so glad that we're going to do it today because it's such a very important topic. Women in finances, just what they're thinking, what they're feeling. And so often women don't know where to go for the right guidance and the right advice. So Eric, the inspiration behind today's women's show, where does it come from?
All my female clientele. And, you know, it's my female clientele that come into us. It's like they are a massive amount of inspiration. Just every time they come into us, we're learning more about how they want to live, how they feel, and they have been a great inspiration. And I'll tell you, Donna and Autumn are the biggest advocates for our female investors.
Yes.
And so they really go over the top with them, and we really want to provide them with everything that they need. So I think today's show is long overdue. But I think that there's going to be a lot of women who get a lot of information from this show and realize that, you know what, you're out there, you are in the same boat as a lot of other people. You're in the same realm. And so you have the same goals and objectives, the same wants and needs in retirement. But a lot of people don't know how to get there. So I think that we're going to do a lot of justice for that today.
I do too, and I love the fact that your female clientele has grown so much in the last 5 years. That's very important. I'm going to ask you a question. What is the modern woman looking for in an advisory firm?
Probably just what she's looking for in a relationship, right? I mean, when you're entering into a relationship with an investment advisor, you are entering into a financial relationship. You are looking for loyalty. You are looking for honesty. You're looking for communication. You want to be open-minded with that person. And I think the honesty and the communication is huge, but you also want that person to be there through difficult times. That's really why we crave relationships. We want to know that we're not going through something alone. We want to be with someone so that they can be our rock and we're their rock. So people, when they come into this, they're kind of interviewing us a little bit and saying, look, are you a good fit? Because I want this to be for long term. I want to make sure that all my bases are covered. I want to make sure that you're actually hearing me. And I think that that's where a lot of women feel with a lot of advisory firms. They feel like they're not being heard.
I agree.
And I am all about a woman, and it is like, I am woman, hear me roar. I get it, because they feel like they want to have a voice in their retirement. And a lot of times they have bigger concerns than actual men based on longevity.
And I think what happens too, Eric, is a lot of times if the male counterpart is the one that says, don't worry, I'm handling this, we're going to be okay. It gets to be very confusing for that female to come forward because, as you just mentioned, something very important to note is the fact that women do outlive their husbands, I should say. So to the men in the audience, if you're one of those husbands that's so loving and caring and you don't want to bother your wife with something like this, trust me, you're doing her a favor in the long run. If something does happen to you, to her, yes, to you today, wouldn't you want to know that she's going to be taken care of, that you'll have peace of mind knowing that she'll be okay? So I think it's very important that we stress that, Eric, because it is so crucial. It happened to a very good friend of mine who unexpectedly lost her husband, and she didn't know what to do the next day. Literally, she had no idea where the bank accounts were. She had no idea what investments they had. She didn't know where to turn for any guidance, any advice. And she reached out to me. She said, Cynthia, what do I do?
Right.
And I said, we will work through it together. And so we were able to put some things together. But that's very scary. But Eric, it's also very common. Talk a little bit about that. It's very common.
It is very common. And again, I don't want to be stereotypical at all. And it's just that we have different roles in life. And typically the man will take over the finances. And look, women are very nurturing. They're very caring. They're taking care of the family. Their goals and objectives are different. They want to spend time with people. They want memories. They want experiences. But men are kind of built like we have to provide for that. So it's the Neanderthal thought, like me bringing home bacon, right?
Right.
And so when the man says, I want more money, I want a bigger rate of return, and the woman's saying, look, I want security, I want time with my family, they're actually both saying the same thing. Because the man says, look, I need a rate of return, I need to make more money to provide security, right? We're just saying it in different ways. And that is the language that differs between men and women. So men and women actually argue over money sometimes. What they have to realize is we're actually really arguing over the same thing. We actually want the same goals and objectives. We're just saying it in different words. And so again, when a married couple comes in, a lot of times the man is saying, look, I want to make sure that my wife or my girlfriend or my fiance is taken care of. And so that's what we're trying to do. So now what we're trying to do is if she's never had access to finances or she's never been educated, we're slowly bringing them into the fold, whether they know it or not. Sometimes we're just like, so. But my thing is about educating them slowly. And all of a sudden they're like, hey, you know what, Eric, I think I'm getting more used to this. We talk about going to the gym. After you go to the gym for a while and you're working out, all of a sudden, does the weight become lighter or are you just getting stronger? It's because you're becoming more known about finances. So this is the nice thing is when you see women evolving about their finances and they're getting stronger. Now, they want to stay in control. A great way to stay in control is to do a financial plan and an income plan. It really lays out where you are. And so there's a lot more of a modern woman today that are engulfing and engaging in financial planning and income planning. It's really exciting to see.
It most definitely is.
They want to be financially independent and autonomous. That's the biggest thing that they're looking for. By being financially autonomous, now all of a sudden it's creating security that they're actually looking for.
So overall, with all of the women that you have coming into the office, that would be their overwhelming concern across the board. Basically, what it boils down to is, am I going to be okay? Would that be correct?
Probably the biggest thing that they want. I just want to know that overall I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
And it's interesting what women will say about money. Eric, I don't do money. I don't know what that means still, right? I don't like money. I get that. I get very overwhelmed, or I've even heard, I hate money. I really don't want to have anything to do with it. But what that really equates to is our lifestyle. And we have to understand whatever pile of money is now creating our lifestyle. So whether we like money or we don't like money, we have to start appreciating money. We have to start understanding the power of money and how we can actually put it to work in order to fund the lifestyle that we want, to create memories, to create experiences, to be able to spend time with our family, our kids, and our grandkids to do what we really want.
Well, Eric, we have to take our first commercial break, but you have a very special message to those viewers at home today. Let's talk about what that is before we go to the phones.
Sure, Cynthia. So all you ladies out there, again, I see you out. We're out at a restaurant and we always get positive feedback about the show. Somebody always says, hey, Eric, I always enjoy having my second cup of coffee watching your show with Cynthia. So again, if you're watching out there today, you have a second opinion question, you want to get a personal financial blueprint, or you really do feel like you're out there in a financial no man's land, give us a call today. Call us at 1-800-779-1942 and let's start answering some of those questions that you have.
Eric, thank you so much to our viewers at home. That number to call is on your screen, 1-800-779-1942. If you don't have your pen handy, you can grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to the landing page for Retirement Wealth Advisors, and you can schedule your time accordingly. Now, remember, we're going to do a deep dive into the way that women are behaving right now regarding finances, but if you're a male viewer, this show is still for you. There's obviously a female in your life somewhere, so you'll find it educational and informative. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Hey everybody, we are back today with Donna Crone, certified financial planner with Retirement Wealth Advisors, who heads up our entire financial planning department. And today, Donna, we're going to be talking about inflation. holy cow, it's still an issue. This has played a huge role in our entire life lately. Now, inflation's always been around, but now we actually see it in our food, healthcare, pharmaceuticals, maybe even our income plans. So Donna, actually, how do we combat this?
Eric, it's important that we understand the impacts of inflation. First of all, it's nearly always present, and it needs to be accounted for over a long period of time. Inflation is also not applied evenly. For example, healthcare and education can be significantly higher than inflation we see on other goods and services. Inflation is also not just about how we spend, but it's also how we save and invest. So it allows us the opportunity to employ investment strategies that can hedge against it. So Eric, inflation is a very important ingredient in a holistic and relevant financial plan because it can reveal to us strategies to mitigate the impacts of inflation.
It seems like people only care about the hot topic issues, right? So, I mean, if interest rates are tough, they're like, hey, how is this affecting me? Now, all of a sudden, inflation has been an issue, but really, we've been talking about inflation for a very, very long time.
Yes, we've always built it into the financial plan.
Right. Remember that inflation's always going to be an issue. So could stagflation or even deflation. So if you feel like inflation is an issue, give us a call today. Let's get your financial plan done. Let's see how it looks in your income plan, and let's see if we can get you a well-rounded second opinion. Thank you so much for watching. And Cynthia, back to you.
Welcome back to Retirement Talk with Eric Carney. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Eric Carney of Retirement Wealth Advisors. And in case you're just viewing in for the first time today, tuning in, we're talking to the women out there, but to the men, don't turn the channel. This is going to impact you as well. There's obviously a female in your life. Well, Eric, we've gone through the first concern that women have overall. They just want to feel that they're going to be okay. Right. What is the second concern that you're seeing quite often? And how can you remedy that is what I'm trying to say.
You know, a lot of times when we talk about today's modern woman, they want to be very independent. My mother is 88 years old and is fiery as can be and completely independent, right? And almost to a detriment, right? It's like, she's like, no, I will be on my own. But sooner or later, it gets to be difficult to do that. But what I have seen through my clientele and also through my mother is that they want to remain as autonomous as possible, but healthcare is a huge concern.
Of course.
And so, you know, again, as we age, things, you know, just start to fall apart. I mean, we just feel like, okay, we can't do the things that we used to be able to do. So women want to make sure that healthcare is paid for, and they don't want to become a burden to their kids or their grandkids. So they want to try to remain independent as possible, keep their dignity intact, and really try to live the best life that they can. And that is expensive. And so again, for maybe a woman, we're actually factoring in their income plan, long-term care, health care. What about concierge medical services? A lot of women are craving that concierge medical services right now from their doctor to make sure that they can actually get in there and see them.
Sure.
So again, as we get older, it's okay to be aging, but we don't want to be deteriorating. So we want to make sure that we have the finances to be able to do the things to make our life a little more comfortable. And so this is a major concern for a lot of women.
Sure. And I know that Donna and Autumn are very passionate about helping your female clients. Let's talk a little bit about the role that they play at the office. Hi, Donna. Hi, Autumn.
So Donna and Autumn do a fantastic job with our female clients because a lot of times if they just lost their husband or they're going through a difficult time, now all of a sudden, not only do they have to take care of their finances, but they're also dealing with the loss of a loved one. And so it is a very intimate, very quiet time where the client is just like, I'm struggling right now.
Of course.
So that's where it's all hands on deck. And it's like, look, you're okay financially. Let's prove that to you. It's one less thing that they really have to worry about. And unfortunately, when you lose someone, especially but when you've been with them for a long time, it lasts for years.
Absolutely.
It just doesn't go away after a couple of months and you bounce back. So the one thing is that I've always been so appreciative of my team is the hands-on approach that we have. And again, Autumn and Donna are great with our female clients. They understand where they're coming from and they want to make sure that they're being taken care of. So again, communication, making sure that their day-to-day monetary needs are taken care of, their income is taken care of. We want to know that they're going to be okay. It's one less thing that they have to deal with.
Sure. And we've gone through a couple of the concerns, obviously, that your female clients have. But as an advisor, what other concerns do you have for the female clients that are coming in personally, Eric? What are you most concerned about? Would you consider that to be the fact that it could be the longevity risk? Healthcare? I mean, what are we really talking about when you're sitting with someone in the retirement years?
Yeah, so it's very difficult sometimes when you sit down with someone and say, look, I just lost my husband. He took care of all the finances, and they really have never had any role in that. So now what we have to do is kind of educate them and get them up to speed, and also understand that you don't know what you don't know. And if you've never been involved in investing, it can be incredibly overwhelming. So what we want to do, again, is slowly put them through the process, help them understand what's happening. And when they start to realize, okay, this is my life, this is how I'm going to pay for it, now they start to understand that a little bit better. The other issue that we have is that a lot of women are very conservative investors. So when you have inflation and you have taxes, now maybe they're not equipped to actually keep up with that. And so we have to have that conversation and say, look, we need to build in a little bit of growth in the portfolio, and here's why. But the one thing that I like about working with women is they are very evidence-driven. So if we prove to them why this is going to work and we help them understand why a product or tool or investment is going to benefit them, not only over the next year, but what about the next 3 and 5 years? What about the next 10 years? What if we know that we can manage it, we can monitor it, we can maintain it, and we can communicate with them on a regular basis? That's really what they're craving. They just want that communication to know that they're being heard.
That's so important. And I know, obviously, with books such as Behavioral Finance, my question to you, Eric, overall is, do you find that women plan differently than men for their retirement? And I'm asking that because so often we as women, we find ourselves in what's known as the sandwich generation. So let's say you're busy, you're taking care of younger children, you're also taking care of aging parents. You're right there in the middle. So your thought process might be a little different than, let's say, your husband. So overall, would that be the case, Eric?
Yeah, I think so. So again, we go back to the man working. The man has to provide. And the women, you know, they literally are very nurturing. They're caring.
Yes.
Women, unfortunately, are bearing children, entering into the workforce late, and then may exit out of the workforce because they're taking care of a parent or a family member, or maybe even their spouse sometimes. And so, you know, their work life has been shortened. Men and women are completely different. You know, we have a new baby in our family now. Not mine, but new baby.
I was going to say, wait, congratulations,
yeah.
What?
So, but anyway, so it's really exciting. The baby's 3 months old.
Aww.
And what's interesting is the dynamics between men and women, you know? So the mother has the baby and rocking the baby, you know, probably 17, 18 hours a day. And so we go over there on a Sunday and we're watching football, we're having dinner, hanging out and everything. And there's the mother with the baby. My nephew gets up and he goes, hey, I'll hold the baby. So my nephew takes the baby and he maybe makes 3 long circles around the living room, right? And he's holding the baby and he goes back to the mother and he hands the baby back and he goes, here you go. I thought you needed a break. And she goes, gee, 4 minutes is really going to change my life. and he didn't think anything of it. But I'm like dying laughing because that's the difference between men and women. She can hold that baby for 18 hours and give it love. And we really think because we held that baby for 4 minutes, we're actually providing relief to that mother. So I'm telling you right now, it really is a good thing that men do not bear children, that men do not take care of children, because I'm sure they would not last as long. So again, I am very grateful to women for being that nurturing, caring way that they are, but it is different in retirement, and we have to recognize that.
It totally is. And Eric, I'm over here getting tears in my eyes, remembering when Ariana was so little, my daughter, that I could just carry her, and it was hours at a time. And someone would say, can I help you with that? Do you want a break? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Because it just is an amazing feeling when you're holding this life that you've created. So anyway, I don't want to get off topic. We have to take a very short commercial break, and you have a message to present to the lovely viewers at home.
Yes.
Let's talk about what that is.
So to everybody out there watching today, really, if you do feel like you need a second opinion, you do have a lot of questions, do not be overwhelmed. It's just answering a lot of questions that you have. Come in, bring your financial statements, bring whatever you have. let's just have a conversation. Sit down with Donna, sit down with Autumn. Let's go through your finances, what you're trying to accomplish, but also let's see what your concerns are. There's a lot of women out there who have true concerns that want to be answered. We want to hear what they are. Give us a call today, 1-800-779-1942.
Eric, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, that number to call is 1-800-779-1942. And again, if you're a lady in the audience today, and perhaps you've gone through a life change, maybe not the loss of a spouse, but maybe you've gone through a divorce and you're starting over and you're not sure where to go for financial wisdom, the number to call is 1-800-779-1942, or you can grab your smartphone, click on that QR code, schedule your time accordingly with Eric and his team just by visiting the website, Retirement Wealth Advisors. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're talking all about women and finance and investing. We have more when we return.
What does your retirement look like? Is it filled with travel, spending time with family, uninterrupted rounds at the golf course? Or are you too worried to even think about your hopes and dreams? Eric and his team can answer your questions with a complimentary review of your retirement and income plan, and it all starts with getting to know you. They'll do exactly that by going over your current strategy to expose the weaknesses that may exist in your retirement portfolio. Plus, they'll explain potential risks and possible strategies to you in easy-to-understand terms and help get you reacquainted with your portfolio and income strategy. Once they understand your retirement goals, objectives, and dreams, they'll work to custom build a retirement plan to help ensure that you cannot outlive your income in retirement. Because every dream needs a plan. Call Eric today and schedule your visit. You only retire once, so let's get it right the first time.
Retirement Wealth Advisors.
Are you concerned about elections, corrections, and recessions? Yeah, me too. At Retirement Wealth Advisors, we're focused on you and your finances. If you're looking to reframe, restructure, and reimagine your wealth, give us a call today. Remember, you only retire once. Let's get it right the first time.
Retirement Wealth Advisors with Eric Carney.
Welcome back to Retirement Talk with Eric Carney. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Eric Carney of Retirement Wealth Advisors. And to our females at home, this show is geared towards you, but to the men, don't change that channel. You'll gain some knowledge as well, I promise. Eric, we mentioned a little bit about the fact that women obviously cannot sometimes just lose a spouse by unfortunately death, but also going through a divorce. Like we hear a lot of talk right now about gray divorce. I mean, I hate to even bring that up, but people that are actually in their elder years or older are finding that they have nothing in common anymore. Right. Let's talk about that client coming in that for the very first time, all of a sudden finds herself single due to a divorce.
Yeah, so you have to understand that another major change in that marriage other than death is divorce. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, it affects you mentally, physically, emotionally, and a lot of times financially.
Yes.
And so we're dealing with a lot of different factors. We're being flanked by different feelings. And so what we really have to do is we've got to change our mindset, right? We still want to be financially autonomous, but we also want to be independent, mm-hmm. you know, and we want to be like, you know, no man is ever going to take care of this anymore, right? And I get it. And so what we have to do is we've got to start changing our mindset to a better place. The problem is it's difficult to do that. You know, when you take a look at a piece of iron, an iron pipe, no one can destroy iron. But iron can actually destroy itself from inside. It can start to rust itself out to no good. The same thing is with our own mindset. No one can actually destroy us, but our own mindset can actually change the way that we live. That's a terrible thing. So what we're trying to do is we're saying, look, I understand where you are. I've been through a divorce. I actually went through an 8-year divorce. I used to be incredibly embarrassed about it, but now it's like a badge of honor. I'm like, hey, I made it through. I made it on the other side. Yeah. I'll tell people, oh, your divorce was 2 years long? Mine was 8. You know?
Yeah,
So it's a difficult time.
It is.
But you have to start rebuilding your life, and you have to start putting your past in the past.
Yes.
You have to realize, this is my new life. What is it going to look like going forward? And believe me, the biggest revenge that you can ever have is happiness. It is not a dollar amount.
true.
Believe me, if you are happy, you are healthy, you are by far way ahead of the other person in your life. And so the biggest thing is that this is where investment behavior comes in. And actually, Donna Crone, our certified financial planner, is actually very well versed in this. This is where women are coming into Donna and saying, look, Donna, I want some advice. Here's what's going on. It's all confidential, and we're just having a conversation. We are literally trying to put that client not only in a better financial position, but a better emotional position.
Yes.
And it's exciting to be able to do that because you see that person start to thrive. They're getting back out in life. They're enjoying themselves. They're traveling. This is what financial planning is all about. It's encompassing your entire life. How do I take my current situation and try to make it better? So worrying about tomorrow's troubles doesn't take away anything. It only takes away today's peace. So make that peace, make that financial plan, and start putting your life back together, no matter what happened to you. You only have one life to live. We have one body, one mind. Make the best of it.
Eric, with a couple minutes left of the show today, what do women look for overall socially in retirement? We only have 2 minutes, I know.
Lunching.
Yes.
I didn't even know that was a term, Cynthia.
Oh, no, I love going to lunch. I'd rather go to lunch than dinner with my girlfriends.
Yeah, that's what they said. So they said, Eric, I want to go lunching, right? But the biggest thing is that we're really looking for experiences. We want to spend time with family, friends, our kids, our grandkids. Again, those experiences that we have, photos, videos, trips, weekend trips. We want to make sure that we're spending that time. So that's really important. But the other thing is women are looking for mindfulness. They're looking for self-love, self-care. And it was funny too, because we tried to have that conversation and I realized that they wanted something else. And I was like, what is it? They're like, well, I kind of want time to myself. But again, women are so used to taking care of other people and not taking care of themselves, but they actually crave that.
Yeah.
So again, there's massage therapy, there's mindfulness, Pilates, yoga, pickleball. You know, you and I talk a lot about that.
Yes.
So these are all goals and objectives that we're actually including. And again, what we want to do is prepare them for another great length of time in their life. Make it great. It can be, but it takes a lot of planning.
Yes. One of my friends actually started her life over again, moved into a golf course community, bought a golf cart. She's golfing every day. She is loving life.
Exactly.
It's about starting again. Eric, thank you for an amazing episode this week. I truly appreciate it. I know everyone in the audience does as well. To the viewers at home, that number to call is 1-800-779-1942. And again, if you're a female in the viewing audience and something that was spoken about today really resonated with you, don't miss the opportunity to call in. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. This is your retirement year. You deserve to have the best one yet. Take care.
Hey, Southwest Florida, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions after today's show, please give us a call.
Remember, you only retire once. Let's get it right the first time. Have a great week and an even better retirement.